All right. Who's doing the intro, the bringing it in?
Okay. Twist my arm over here.
Well, we're rolling.
I'll bring it in.
Whoa. Well, twisting my arm. This is the ZZ Hops exec board meeting for
Hopscast. I know you just can't say it.
I can't say it, so that's why I said the
Hopscast.
ZZ Hopscast.
ZZ Hopscast.
This is the ZZ Hops exec board meeting that is going to be called the Hopscast.
Well, we already did the exec board meeting earlier.
Okay, so we did the meeting with your mom, but this is the ZZ Hops exec board
Just went
meeting.
there right off the bat. It's fine. I'll be over here in the corner. Right.
So what we're doing here today, guys, is we're actually doing a Hopscast where we're going to be talking about things that are coming up for ZZ Hops. We'll be talking with Adam today from New Axiom, because we're at New Axiom. That's what the background noise is. There's all of the lovely people here on a pretty busy night for a Monday.
Surprisingly busy for all the snow on the ground again.
Again.
This
should be the last snow on the ground of the year.
Oh, you stupid
No,
son of a
won't be,
bitch.
because you just said it.
Wait, am I an asshole?
Yes.
Thank you
Okay.
for jinxing us.
Okay. So we're going to have 7 more weeks of snow?
I'm not saying one thing or another.
Nope.
Okay. Well, I'm going to say that everything's going to be good and dandy, and we're not going to have any more snow. It's all going to be ice.
That's way better.
That's better.
So what we're going to do here, the format we're probably going to follow tonight, is we're going to do some announcements. We're going to talk about some events coming up.
I'm very excited for all of the festivities.
We have a lot of things coming up. A lot of things we're kind of changing, but a lot of exciting things we're going to have some fun with. Then we're also going to talk about specifically New Axiom and the noises that they're making.
Well, they are filling up a giant fooder full of beer right now and trying to clean.
Food.
That doesn't mean what you think it means, Curtis.
Oh, okay.
I mean, they probably are putting food product in the fooder. Probably putting some fruit in there or something. But anyway, let's talk about things coming up today. Or not today, but coming up soon.
Next 90 days.
Next 90 days. First things off the bat, really pretty quickly, I'm kind of nervous, and I need to make sure that my ducks are in a row, because we have entries due for nationals coming up on March 14th. So I need to get those things bottled and make sure I get those over there. Then we get to wait a month. You turn it in on the 14th, and then they're not judged until April 14th.
Well, it's really good when you do that for IPAs.
Yeah, especially like in New England.
Yeah.
Those things are going to be amazing.
So good.
But then next we have the March meeting, which is going to be is actually going to have. I'm announcing a location change.
Omaha.
I don't know what hot route means. It means come stand over here. But we're changing the location. We're calling it audible. We're changing the location from. We announced that it was going to be at Grains and Taps.
The new Grains and Taps.
The new Grains and Taps Homebrew. We're going to change that to later on in the year. But right now we're going to go to Crane. And we're going to do the officer elections at Crane, and we're also going to do a potluck. We're going to get a potluck sign-up on Facebook.
It's actually already out there.
Okay,
sir.
I don't know how to use the technologies. So
I'm not surprised that you would know that's going on.
Okay, so we have a potluck sign-up where you're going to be able to say, hey, I'm bringing this. Usually the theme for the March potluck in the past has been Irish-themed, so roast beef or things that would go with roast beef and other Irish-oriented items. But if you really just want to bring some favorite potluck thing that you make all the time for your potlucks, bring that. That's awesome. I would eat that.
I know that we've already had a couple of people sign up, both on the Facebook as well as there's a Google form. I have it on pretty good authority that Taylor Jones is making pastrami burnt ends.
Oh, God.
We might want to remind him that he's doing that.
He signed up for it. I'm assuming he remembered.
Well, that's a nice assumption.
There's a digital trail.
Well, when he listens to the podcast, he's going to hear it.
Oh, yeah, definitely. So, Taylor, make the, what did you say? Pastrami burnt ends. Okay, I'm going to now text him. Like when somebody else starts talking, I'm going to text him about that.
No one's going to start talking now.
Okay.
No, we're all going to be quiet, and it's going to be really, really awkward.
So when Brett goes on his tirade, that I'm going to be able to text then.
You know what really grinds my gears?
So then we also have March 23rd is coming up, and that's
Still in March?
We're still in March. This is the third thing in March, and we're in March right now. But third thing coming up is Blarney Brew Off. I have 6 beers and 2 non-alcoholic options that are coming up on tap that I'm serving at Blarney Brew Off, the Lee Summit Beer Festival.
Sponsored by the great guys at Grains and Taps.
Great guys at Grains and Taps. So if you aren't pouring beer, go ahead and get your tickets for it.
Yeah, do it now because they're still $35 as of today, and they are going to go up. Those will sell out.
Damn.
Yeah. But if you are brewing beer or bringing your beer, go ahead and get that done and get that ready for the 23rd. And we will have a sign up that is on Facebook for that breakfast, and it's a potluck style breakfast. We like potlucks apparently.
Breakfast?
Well,
What's a
we like food. I mean, we're guys. We eat food.
And we like breakfast as well. Breakfast.
Because breakfast, second breakfast.
I hate K's.
BREFISS.
Yes, breakfast. So if you like breakfast like I do, we're gonna make some breakfast food, and we're gonna eat it all right before we start drinking that day.
I think that's a good plan.
Also, first thing in April. Eric, you want to tell us what's going on in April?
So April, we've got Spring Fling. I believe that the signups for Spring Fling are closed already.
Yes,
You
they
just
are.
didn't want to say Spring Fling several times in a row. That's why
Yes,
you're
this
making
is
me do
true.
this. So, but if you are interested in attending that event, tickets are available. That's up at iWorks, is that right?
Yeah, iWorks up in North Kansas City off of 9 Highway or Ann Arbor Road-ish area.
So North Kansas City.
If you know where Chicken and Pickle is, you know where iWorks is.
I know where Chicken and Pickle is.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then April 15th, we've got the next meeting. Much like the March meeting, we are announcing a location change for that meeting.
Omaha.
Another audible.
Hot route.
We're just trying to make sure you guys are paying attention to all the ways we're deluging your email right now, as well as Facebook. So it will actually be held right here at the new Axiom Brewery. The topic will still be coffee and beer, and be presented by our good friend and club member, Mr. Brian Thayer, also the purveyor of Viceroy Coffee.
Aaron Compton will be part of that as well. And I want to say that Brian says there's someone else that works on the coffee side that he's going to have up here with him.
Maybe Dane might be his name.
I don't know.
Sure, we'll
Sounds
go.
like a thing that could be
yeah,
true.
it's Dane. Maybe it's Dave. We don't really know.
Dave's not here, man.
Samsonite.
Dave's not here, man.
We will also be doing the scale up that we're going to talk to Adam about a little bit in section 2. That will be judged at the meeting. So when you bring your beers in, you won't have to do any kind of additional turnout or anything like that. If you do need to turn them in ahead of time, work with the guys here at the brewery. I'm sure they could accommodate you if you're going to be out of town or something like that. But otherwise, plan on bringing those in on Monday, and they're going to actually do the judging right then and there.
So we're going to get a little bit more information about what styles that is here pretty soon?
Maybe.
Okay.
It's plausible we could cover that. It's called a teaser.
It's called, okay.
You should be familiar with that.
I'm familiar with being teased.
Just the tip. See how it feels.
Whoa.
Usually by Curtis.
No.
It's called edging.
Okay.
Oh, my God.
And I think we are coming up to that line of parental guidance.
I think this is rated clean on iTunes, by the way. That may need to change.
Wait, did you say clean or queen?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Just checking. Okay, so what else is going on in the month of April?
Well, I'm glad you asked, Alex. April 27th, we have the Parkville Microbrew Fest. That's a festival where we go and pour not as individuals, but as a club. It's one of the best festivals around. It's a lot of fun because we're pouring next to each other. It's not, I'm not pouring as myself. You're not pouring as whatever you are this week, whatever you're identifying as. But we're pouring as ZZ Hop. So that's kind of a cool opportunity to pour next to your club members. Expect to see a sign up for that in the next probably couple of weeks. We're working with the fine folks at Parkville to figure out exactly how many folks we're going to be able to bring and tickets and all of that. So that sign up will be coming out.
I'm taking you're being subtle that I need to get on that and get an answer to that.
Well, I mean, you don't have to. We could always just do what we always do and wait till the week before.
I've done that. I've waited till like the night before to turn
Be
in
like,
the list.
yeah, hey, by the way,
By the way, we're bringing
we're bringing 18 beers. I hope you guys are ready.
We're bringing 30 people with 18 beers.
I'm pretty sure it was last year that we took, I want to say 20 to Parkville.
We took 20 last year and 22 the year before that.
Yeah, so usually
And
we get a pretty good
6 before the year that.
Well, I wasn't there, so and apparently you're bringing 6 to Blarney all by yourself with no help from anybody else.
No, Taylor is not helping me at all with those beers, or is Ethan? Okay, so we got a sign up going for that.
Well, we will have a sign up going. We don't
will
have that done quite yet.
Okay,
It's a little ways away. It's the end of April, so we've got a little bit of time.
a little bit of time. Okay, sounds good.
We don't have to do everything exactly next week.
Okay, so next we have a Friday event, our first Friday, which would be First Fridays,
It's the first Friday of May.
which is what day?
Friday.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
May 3rd is going to be a first Friday at Reactor. We're going to reach out to Reactor, verify this is all going down, and we'll need some volunteers to donate the beer and get that going.
And to serve.
I know we have a lot of fun when we do that. If you're just listening to this and not watching, you'll notice that Brett is nodding his head. So if you're not watching this, just let you know Brett is definitely agreeing with me, which is not a usual thing.
And the sound of the marbles is deafening. I don't know if it's on
The
the.
sound of the
Oh,
marbles.
Is that the
Picking up
noise
on
that
the
I'm getting?
microphone.
Yeah, I wondered what that was.
But if you've never done it before, get out there, have some fun with us, pouring beer for random people that are walking along the streets of downtown or the Crossroads area. Then you also are able to go to the different crossroad places and do the First Friday thing itself, and we will have a lot of fun. The next day is Big Brew Day at Boulevard.
So pace yourself the night before.
Definitely don't go too hard in the paint. That's a basketball reference.
Sports ball.
Sports ball, yay. But so Big Brew Day at Boulevard, we're going to actually get a sign-up going for that as well. We're going to have a lot of sign-ups coming up here in the next few weeks, or have already had them, or they're still going. But anyway, Big Brew Day is...
Do you have us going to spam? Is that what you're saying? You're not checking your Gmail?
Meh. Don't ask me about my business. We're going to have what we're going to do is we're going to have a recipe for 5 different beers, and we're going to vote on those beers. If you want to participate, please make sure you vote. And if you vote, please make sure you participate. But we're going to have 5 different styles of beer that will have different options of what we do with that. But then we're going to make all of the same beer. Hopefully we can get 10 people out there and get 50 gallons of this beer made, so that we can put it into even into a barrel.
Yeah. So we're working with the Tours and Recs department to get that all finalized. You'll probably see that, I would say, in the next 3 to 4 weeks. It's a little bit of a ways out there, but keep it in the back of your mind when you're looking at planning your weekends and doing things like that. Is there anything important about May the 4th?
I don't know.
Star Wars. Talking about Star Wars.
I don't know much about that. I definitely wasn't listening to a book just now.
Nerd.
Yes, I might be a nerd about Star Wars.
A book on tape?
Yes, it's a book on tape.
Yes, I have a cassette
How
tape
does one listen to a book? It's amazing. What is this technology?
I've got my Walkman. I
So-
keep it in my fanny pack.
Fanny pack. So the fun thing is that May the 4th is May the 4th be with you. But then also you have the Revenge of the Sith, or Revenge of the 5th the next day.
It's better.
But also it's Cinco de Mayo. So while you're sobering up for or May the 4th be with you, you'll be getting hungover, and then solving that hangover with tequila for Cinco de Mayo.
Well, while you're sobering up after First Friday, while brewing at Big Brew Day,
I definitely did not do that last
and
time.
then you will have Cinco de Mayo.
I was not
And then on
hungover
the
last
6th,
year.
you basically just want to die.
You just basically want to die. But
So
you
what
won't
we're
die because you're going to be having a lot of fun. But the reason why we're saying all this about Star Wars is that our recipe ideas will probably be very much related to Star Wars, like the Imperial March or a Darth Vader beer for Imperial Stout.
The dark side.
The dark side. Or we're going to have an IPA, a double IPA that will be a Millennium Falcon. or we can have Dagobah Swamp
Scotch Ale.
because Peat Malt. And then you can also we have a few different ideas that we're going to probably go with. So be on the lookout for that those options, and definitely give us a shout out if you have an idea.
Last but not least.
Last but not least, this is really far out there. May 18th. May 18th is going to be the KC Nano Brew Fest. Signups are full, but there is a waiting list. And actually, we did get a couple people on that waiting list, off that waiting list, and actually are going to be pouring their beer. So we're going to have a lot of fun there. We will also do a breakfast thing at that one. We'll probably do a breakfast thing for... I'm just going to keep on saying breakfast just to make you guys giggle.
Breakfast.
For Parkville as well. But we love breakfast, and we're going to eat that breakfast at right before.
Are you part Hobbit?
Maybe. If you've seen my feet, maybe you might believe that.
I don't need to see your feet, buddy.
I'll take my shoes off just to prove it.
Keep them on.
But we will be we'll be doing a breakfast thing at Nano Brew Fest, which is a huge beer fest. So if you're not pouring, huge. If you're not pouring there, you will want to get your tickets to that as well and come and drink with us anyway.
We might let you in.
We might. So those are the things coming up. We have the exec board talked earlier. We've already got our action items all done. So anybody else have anything for this section that they want to add in other than making fun of me for the way I say breakfast?
Well, breakfast.
Breakfast. Breakfast.
I would like to add one more thing.
Shit.
Yeah. The Big Brew Day at Boulevard is a lot of fun. We'd like to see a lot more club participation this year. So please, there's already a sign up out there. If you want to sign up to brew, it's great.
It is not electric friendly, but we can definitely get you a propane burner, and we can get going with that kind of stuff.
And there's hoses around.
Hoses.
They did have electricity for pumps.
Yes, but yeah, just not for you can't
Just
use
pumps.
Just
Yeah,
pumps.
there's no way you're going to be able to actually use like an element and whatnot.
Yeah.
No.
But we can definitely get it going. I'm sure not all 40 members, 50 members of the club are all electric brewers. It's not that hard to get your propane set up there, and we can have a lot of fun anyway. So we can time it so that we're at different stages and so we're not all using the chiller at the same time either. So anyway, is there anything else?
Yeah, so just to give everyone a heads up, and some people may have already seen something on Facebook, I had every intention of staying on as the secretary of ZZ Hops here.
I'd appreciate it.
But I have a little bit of a health issue. It's nothing major, but something that does require some lifestyle changes and not drinking alcohol. So I've got this awesome Diet Coke here in my fancy Tiku glass now.
I can't believe you're drinking Diet Coke out of a Tiku.
Hey, I roll hard.
You
Classy
do you, buddy.
AF.
But so yeah, part of my lifestyle change is going to have to be not drinking as well as being much less fat. So it would be hard to be around the club and be surrounded by the amazing beers to the extent that I am right now, and still manage to keep that process of not drinking. So I will still be around. I plan on staying on and helping the club with the podcast. Media production is something I'm very into. And I'll still be around, probably videotaping, taking pictures at events and stuff like that. But you'll probably see me less at the actual club meetings and things like that.
And I will be sad.
I'll be sad as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sad.
I'm going to miss my snuggle time.
Okay. Well, we can still do that.
Okay, good.
Awesome.
I'll have to be sober. I don't know how much I can handle it then, but we'll at least
As
give it
long
a
as I
try.
get spooned, I'm okay.
Eric's really bad sober, so I like him at a 2-drink minimum.
Well,
I'm about there.
Okay, guys. So we're all sad that Curtis is going to have to take a step back, but we're going to love that the effort he's going to put forward and the guidance he's going to give to other members of our new exec board that will be coming up here pretty soon. And with that, I think we're going to take a break. We're going to get a couple beers and rub it in Curtis's face.
assholes.
And then we're going to go ahead and get Adam over here. If not, also somebody else from New Axiom.
I think Mac's going to come over.
Of course he is. And then we can get him over here and talk about the Braggot scale-up competition coming up. We have a lot of scale-up competitions right now. That's pretty awesome.
I didn't think we were going to announce what the style was until after segment 2 ended.
Well,
You
it's
screwed up
already
my
been,
teaser.
it's already been out on the
You think these
episode
people?
1.5.
You think
of
they
the
read these?
No.
You think
they read the podcast? Do we think they read the podcast?
I don't think they read. Period.
I don't know how to read.
Well, that doesn't surprise me.
So that's something I'm gonna have to edit out. The one member of the exec board insulting the members of the club.
They would actually expect it, so I think we're okay. Okay, guys, thank you so much. We'll be right back.
time.
Welcome back, guys. We're here at New Axiom tonight. Again, still.
Yeah, we haven't left from the last segment.
Well, I mean, people might have left because of the last segment. But
I
that's
hope
okay.
so. I ignored. I like insulted half the memberships. So
And then also, I was just talking the entire time. But the goal is with this segment for me to not to talk as much.
Most of us ignore Alex anyway.
I mean, this is a valid point.
Wow.
Well,
Pot, kettle, pot.
and you're one to talk to?
Yes.
Okay, just awesome. But who are you guys? Say hi.
Hello.
Okay, say hi to the camera.
Hello.
Me llamo es Esteban.
Okay, Esteban. What is your American name, Esteban?
Esteban translato to Mac.
Mac. Okay, Mac and
Adam.
what do you guys do?
I wash dishes.
Okay, awesome. That's great. And you clean floors.
well, he's into landscaping.
I'm the safety manager, and I inspect the top rungs of ladders.
By dancing on them?
It does not say to not dance. It says to not stand.
So for context, I walk in tonight to New Axiom, where we are. Mac is looking at the top of his fooder, not actually do anything except for dancing on the top rung of the ladder.
That's accurate.
It was monitoring. I was doing something.
Monitoring. Well, I supervise the back of my eyelids when I go to sleep. I also supervise Eric when he doesn't know it. And I
what?
monitor him when he doesn't know it. So there's that.
I want to make a mother joke right now.
Oh, yeah? Something about landscaping again?
Not quite.
Okay. So there's that. But let's say we're good friends for hypothetical reasons. Let's we're just in make believe right now.
Acquaintances.
We're good friends.
Who are we saying we? Who's the cumulative
Is this
we?
the royal we that we're talking about right now?
At least I'm friends with myself. I know that for much.
You got a bunch of personalities in there, do you, buddy?
Yeah. you have no idea.
At least a palm.
But so he points to his palm and he gets excited and spills all over himself. I don't know what that's about. I don't know what I'm insinuating over here.
Super
But
forgot we were on camera.
yeah, there's a camera over there.
Yeah. So that bright light pointing up this way, that's actually a camera. This whole thing's being recorded.
Awesome.
So we're monitoring the monitors at this point.
Excellent.
So what do we have coming up? We have some. We have beer here. We make beer here, but we want to start making other styles. We want to explore different styles. What is something that you do? What would you say you do here?
What do I say I do here? I wash fermenters,
Okay,
and I play with honey.
and you play with honey. Awesome. And is that at an official point?
It is going to be official before this podcast is posted, if I had to guess.
Yep.
So you're gonna have it official by tomorrow because we're super efficient around here.
That is the assumption I was making.
Yep. We make braggots.
That being said, we might not just be releasing mead tomorrow, so don't rush out here because we're also closed on Tuesday.
Good to know.
Fuck Tuesday, right?
Wow. Okay, so we can cuss on it.
I'm not sure if we. Apparently, we can now.
I mean, we've cussed on here a few times already.
Have we?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think you're good.
But so, Adam, you play with meads, and that's one of the reasons you were brought on. Also, because you brew better than anybody else here.
Yeah, I'm a little bit smarter than Mac, so.
Oh, that's not saying much.
Yeah.
Low bar to
No,
clear.
Very low bar.
That's like stepping over the threshold of a door.
Honestly, I thought the bar was buried.
So we've got. What is a braggot?
What is a braggot? So a braggot is
Someone who brags about themselves with regards to honey. Oh, sorry.
That
That's
is
a
definitely
braggo.
not.
Yeah.
I was actually afraid of the direction you were going to go with after that. After brag, like
We just have to make sure that Adam covers the Brigot story.
okay, Brigot story. Okay, what is a Brigot?
So a Brigot is apparently the way you pronounce braggot if you're from France, but
Is this confirmed with French people?
I'm not quite sure.
Okay, just checking. If you're listening to this and you know French, go ahead and chime in and let us know if
Post a
Brigot.
Sprechen Sie Dick. Is that French?
No.
Je m'appelle Dick. Yeah, that's French.
Yep, that's French.
I don't know what it means though.
It means your name is Richard.
Je m'appelle Sebastian.
But let's backing up. So that's a Brigot, but also a braggot. What is a braggot?
A braggot is a mead and a beer hybrid. So it's something fermented with both grain and honey to where you can taste both the beer that it's supposed to be plus the mead that it's supposed to be. You should be able to taste both sides of the beer.
Okay. And when I'm tasting honey, what are some of the big flavors that come out of honey most of the time?
A lot of the flavors depend on the variety of the flower that it's coming out of. So wildflower is our main honey that you can buy in the grocery store.
Right.
But you can have a lot of monofloral honeys that will bring out the character of that flower. So you have like blueberry blossom honey that will taste like blueberry blossom or blueberry.
Gotcha.
You can have buckwheat blossom honey that tastes like a barnyard. So
Sounds delicious.
I mean, apparently that's a good thing in some beers.
Love munching on
Yep.
barnyards.
Like
I never
Grumpy
quite
would
got
say
the
that.
barnyard description. Like, is that supposed to be something that's appealing? Like, it's barnyard. Like,
Well, if that doesn't do it for you, we could also go with like horse sweat and
it's
there we go.
leather,
much better.
and
Blanket,
wet-
horse blanket. Yeah,
Rich mahogany.
wet hay.
so like
that's yummy.
Brett or a lot of saisons.
Okay, sounds good. So you're getting honey and you're fermenting that with also the wort from a beer.
Yes.
Is there a percentage-wise what it needs to be, or do you care, or?
So if you look at the BJCP guidelines, there is no guideline for the percentage that it has to be one or the other. It just says it has to be fermented with both, and you have to taste both.
Okay, so it has to be perceived, and
right.
it has
Yep.
to be actually done.
Yep. So for us, it needs to be 49% or lower as a brewery because
On the honey side.
On
and
the honey
above
side.
25%.
Otherwise, it's a mead/wine.
yeah, and which is illegal for us to brew
Okay, fair enough.
Tonight.
Tonight.
For now.
For now, got it. So I'm coming through. I'm coming up with a braggot idea. I want to do a braggot. What are some tips what are some suggestions you would want us to put out there about that kind of idea?
All right, so a couple questions that were asked previously were some of the guys from ZZ Hops came in and asked if they could do fruit.
Right.
Yes, you can do fruit. There is no perceived restrictions to braggots. It's a very open category. The big thing is you should be able to taste the beer and you should be able to taste the honey. The fruit can be there, but it's a Max doing something weird.
Max opening his mouth. So
Max making bedroom eyes at me now.
bedroom eyes. Wow. Okay.
There we go. So really, you need to be able to taste the honey and the beer.
Okay.
Everything else should be background.
So when I'm tasting beer, just let's say I want to dry hop it. Is that beer enough? Like if I use malt, but I don't perceive the two-row, but I use hops, would that be beer enough, or are you saying I need to taste the malt aspect?
You should be able to taste the malt aspect of it a little bit.
Okay.
So you should do that in any IPA. I mean, unless you're these people that's making a ridiculous New England IPA, you'd get the malt out of that.
Shut your dirty mouth. Okay, sounds good.
I do have a question about when the honey goes in. Does it matter if it goes in, during the boil, during the mash,
All right.
during primary?
So for honey, the best way to add it is after the boil, because if honey goes in above 150 degrees Fahrenheit, you're losing a lot of the aromatics of the honey, and you'd be better off just adding cane sugar or something like that at that point.
So it'll strip out everything that makes a mead special if you add it. You know,
at boil.
If I'm like in Whirlpool, I shouldn't be throwing it in there. I should wait till
Yep.
It's down underneath temp.
Yep. At the opposite end of that coin, though, you want to add it to where it's a fermentable. You don't want to use it just for a flavor after fermentation is done, because at that point you're making a honey beer and not a braggot. Because a braggot, it needs to be fermented with the honey.
So like my old standby Honey Brown wouldn't be considered a braggot.
No.
So for the state's legislature, there is such a thing as a honey ale, and there's a braggot.
Yep.
So when we register our braggots with the government, we have to clarify honey ale is 24% or less fermentation by honey, and 25 to 49% is braggot. BJCP just has it as 0 to 49.
Yep.
But either way, it sounds like you want the honey to ferment, but you still want to get some of those like aromatics and whatnot off of it when you're fermenting it out, right?
Yes.
Okay. So what are some fun ones you've done?
What are some fun ones I've done? I have done an IPA.
Because you've also brewed before, like when you were at your house.
Correct. As a home brewer, a couple of them I've done are an avocado blossom braggot.
Okay.
And that is a very strong honey, so the honey flavor really comes forward, and it was a very light golden ale base that I used for that one.
Okay.
Another one would have been a New England style IPA braggot. And
I told you that'd work.
And the honeys I used was a blend of blueberry blossom and raspberry blossom honey.
That sounds terrible.
Yeah, horrible. As commercial brewers, we've done Bad Boy Beroy Brown, which is a Bochet braggot, so where we caramelized the honey and added it that way.
Are you sure it's not a Bochet Brago?
I think that's
It's actually a Botchet Brago.
Okay, that makes sense.
Brago, yeah. That's
Total sense.
Bocce ball?
Botchet with a T.
Okay.
Like hatchet, but not.
Okay. So like it, but not. Got it.
Yep.
Okay. So basically, I can have carte blanche with anything that I want. Like, could I do a sour and a honey?
Oh, yeah.
I could do a brown. I could do essentially a dry stout and a honey. I could do an IPA and a honey.
Is there any styles you've brewed or thought about brewing and you're just like, no, this didn't work? Like in terms of like a braggot, like mashing up a BJCP style, and the end result, you were just like, that's not something that I would ever do again.
Not something that I would ever do again, but I would have to change it. We did a buckwheat braggot,
right?
And I would really want more honey flavor out of it the next time I did it. It just with the darker, it was a stout base, and the stout just overpowered the honey quite a bit.
Okay, so you got to make sure that you understand how much of the roast malts you're putting in there, how much of those kind of things is going on. He's trying to help you. Mac's trying to help you take care of the mic, if you know what I mean.
Yep.
Yep, that just happened.
Did you remember the camera?
Did you? Okay. So from a when I'm coming up with this idea for a braggot, how much time do I need to keep them? Like, when are we doing this? Help me understand.
April 15th.
April 15th. Is that enough time to start now and make a braggot?
Multiple braggots.
Yep.
How long does it take to, like, can I turn around a braggot?
About the same time as a beer. Really, with a braggot, you're going to want to control temperature even more so than you would with just a straight beer, because honey is a simple sugar. It's glucose and fructose, so it's going to ferment a lot faster and a lot stronger if you have a higher temperature. So you really want to dial that temperature back down a little bit.
Do you recommend that you put your honey in doses? Right, so if I'm coming up with a beer, let's say I'm doing a 10-gallon beer and I'm going to add 4 pounds of honey, should I stagger those additions? Should I do like a pound here, wait for it to die down, add a pound?
Honestly, it's very open. I've done both ways, to where I've added them all together and I've dosed them.
So you've gone both ways.
Hey now.
I mean,
you said it, not me.
So help me out with math, because math is hard.
Okay.
We're talking 49% to 25% to 49%. Is that of fermentable sugars, or is that of volume?
That is fermentable sugar, not volume.
So if I have if I have a 10-pound grain bill for a 5-gallon batch, and then I can add, okay, let's math's sake because I'm bad with math. I have 5 pounds of grain, 5 pounds of malt, or 6 pounds of grain, 4 pounds of malt, or
keep working on it.
Yeah, I'm going to work my way through this. I'm going to get there.
We're with you, buddy.
I,
Who's on first?
6 pounds of malt, 4 pounds of honey. Is that what the kind of math I'm looking at?
That is close. I would definitely use a brewing program if you've got one. You cannot do 5 pounds of malt, 5 pounds of honey. You are actually going to have probably closer to 60 to 70% fermentable sugar if you do it that way with the honey. Okay. Because honey is, because it's a simple sugar.
Right, it's 100% fermentable.
It's 100% fermentable.
Higher potential.
Yep.
Okay, so the percentage number is based off of fermentable sugars, not of percent of mash or percent of
percent
volume.
by weight. Correct. Yeah. Like so you don't want to go in and add to your math. You don't want to do 5 pounds of malt and 5 pounds of honey because you're going to have your beer be 60 or 70%.
That would be a mead.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, awesome. So glad we mathed and also Englished that one out because I didn't use words good there.
It made for great radio. That's the important thing.
Awesome. That hey, make fun of me. I'm good with it because sticks and stones and something about. Never mind.
We don't like to pick on the handicap, so I'm gonna,
Don't talk about Mac that way, okay?
I can hear you.
Oh shit! We didn't turn off his headphones.
Did we not turn? Oh,
okay.
let's just turn that down.
I'm actually kind of impressed of how much Mac has not talked so far. But that's.
Well, I think he's got an 18-foot tall fooder over there that he's in love with. So
yeah,
I think that's all he's. I mean, I'm just watching him like he's looking behind it. You can see this if you're looking on the video, and he's just kind of glancing at it every now and then.
Yeah, he's pretty much. Yeah, he's using some sort of reflection and looking at his big fooder over there. Okay, so
is there anything else you want to tell us about braggots that we need to know if we're going to enter this competition?
Really, like I said, it's
yeast nutrient. Anything there in terms of like you were saying that it's a really potential, tricky fermentation.
Yep. Yeah, definitely use yeast nutrient. It'll help out because of the simple sugars. Otherwise, your yeast is just going to take off like crazy, and then it's probably going to peter out at the end.
Can you add oxygen in the middle of the process when you're adding the honey, or you should not do that?
I would probably not do
Avoid that. Okay.
One thing to note would be that most braggots are going to actually have a perceived sweetness from the honey that's going to be a residual. So a little bit drier recipe is not necessarily the worst thing in the world.
Yep. Okay. Awesome.
I think most of our braggots are 10:08 to about 10:12 finishing.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so wow. I like the fact that you put it into standard gravity because I know you are becoming an elitist and use Play-Doh.
Not even a little bit.
Not even a little bit?
No, I don't play with that stuff. It's weird and feels weird in my hands.
I see what you did there. Huh. You are a 5-year-old.
Now, I do like to play with bricks.
Bricks?
Yes.
Throwing them?
No.
Through windows?
The kind that measures alcohol.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sorry, I couldn't keep up with you back and forth. Your banter is just so, cerebral. But anyway.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
So anyways.
That's not a word.
See, I'm bringing other inside jokes back. So there's that. So we have, it's pretty open. We're open to any kind of styles, any kind of honey, any kind of grain bill. We're flavor additions, yeast being used.
So you did mention that any type of honey. It's a type of honey that we can easily access. So
that's more of a strategy thing. Is that if you want to be selected, you probably want to get. You could have the best braggot, but if it's a hard to get honey, or
if you choose to go with Tupelo honey, you will not win.
No, right. So
at $36 for 2 pounds, you will not win.
So you might have the best braggot, but you won't get the scale up because
we can't afford it.
Yeah. Okay.
And there is a list of honeys that these guys use available on the Facebook event. There's a link.
Anything from what's the website?
It's Dutch Gold.
Yeah, it's the link that Sean sent me the other day. So we updated the Facebook post with that. So if you're curious as to what the types are that these guys have available, you can go there, check it out. look at your recipe formulation. It doesn't have to be an exact match, right? So
No.
if you're using clover honey or something like that, that's fine. But if you're using one of these really expensive, $36 a pound honeys, probably not going to have a good time. You probably make a great beer, a great braggot.
I hope you do.
You may not win the competition.
A couple of things to note also. One of the things on braggots that I've learned through Adam, having not brewed any as a home brewer, that was part of the reason of this competition. Try to push people out of their comfort zone. Let's have some fun. Let's show people a style that they've never done and make them do it. That being said, don't go buy the most expensive orange blossom honey and try to put it into something like a stout thinking that you're going to get some chocolate-covered orange, because you won't. The more crazy flavor profile of the honey, you want to accent that the most by using the lighter body of the beer. You want that to play forward, so to speak, versus...
So if I wanted to do a stout, though, what kind of honey would I want to put in there?
Honestly, a simple wildflower or clover.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then tip number 2, if the honey that you're using comes in
Just
a
a tip?
bear-shaped object, wrong.
Just wrong. Okay, got it. Even if it's like the gigantic gummy bear style honey.
Even if it's got an easy pour spout tip.
Even. Okay. So I should just get a bucket.
That's fine,
Okay.
as long as it's bear-shaped.
Bear-shaped bucket.
It will become a Sandy bucket here, so please save that for me.
Oh yes, done. So note to self: Mac's Christmas present is going to be a bear-shaped bucket.
I
of honey.
actually know what I'm going to Google next.
Are you sure you want to do that? You might end up on a list
I'm
somewhere.
not going to go like safe search off in images right away, but let's see what we get just on a base of bear-shaped bucket.
Awesome. So I know that I'm at least going to try. I don't know what's going to come of it. When is the due date on this?
It is the second Monday in April. That way we'll have the announcement of the winner on the third Monday, which, as we all know, would be the ZZ Hops meeting.
Okay, we might want to talk about
Yeah,
this.
we can talk.
Okay, so maybe not that date.
Well, we want to do it on the 3rd, but we talked about coming back here
Yeah.
earlier
For
for the meeting.
So like having it like a judging like here during the meeting kind
Yeah.
of thing.
Like you
Oh.
guys go out back and judge it. Come back in and announce it.
we can
We can talk about it
we
if
can
you want.
also
It's-
cut this.
No, we could do
We
that.
could
I will say this. It depends on entries. I mean, if we get 45, 50 entries or 35 entries, that would be...
Because that's going to happen.
Well, we got 24 to the last one.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that did take a good hour and a half probably for us to get through those.
Okay.
We can talk. We could do yet another sign-up sheet because Lord knows we don't have enough of those going around.
I think the count is 4, 5, 6 signups
Okay.
right now.
Again,
Six
I'd
sounds
encourage
good.
everyone to do it. As a home brewer, you get to play for a relatively cheap, inexpensive thing to do. I know everyone just heard that and is cussing me 6 ways from Sunday, but you can
No.
play.
They were doing that well before.
Way more often as a home brewer, and what's the worst case that happens? You mess up, you fail. Cool, pick yourself up. Let's do it again. I kicked myself for not trying to do more braggots as a home brewer, and I honestly didn't know much about them. And what I did know was, I don't really know. I don't want to venture out there. That was the whole point of
Right.
why we discussed this and why we wanted to do it.
Okay, sounds good. I want to thank you guys for letting us do the podcast here. Also, this is an amazing opportunity for all of our for ZZ Hops to do this kind of experimentation and scale up. And
Before
that's
you
amazing.
close out, we have to do the fine print.
What is the fine print?
The fine print is number 1, no fortified beers, meaning no spirits, alcohol,
yes.
liquor. Number 2, you can certainly do sours, but I think you guys would want to limit them to kettle sours only.
No wilds, no
Right.
Brett, no PDO. That's strictly for a time frame thing.
Number 3, you have to be a paid member to do this. So if you're not a paid ZZ Hops member,
Pay your dues.
pay your dues. Number 4, when you turn in the entry, there's a lot of information you'll need to turn in, including the honey varietal use as well as the style, so these guys have an idea of what you're looking for. That information, again, is on the Facebook post. So if you've
Do not put your name on the bottle, please.
what if I name it Eric's Braggot? Is that okay?
Honestly, the name is something that we'll judge. That does not sound like a winner.
Eric is a bracket.
Well, that's probably better.
Maybe if
I
you
think you
change
had a
the
typo in
spelling.
there.
Fair point. Swap two letters for
Brago.
Brago. Got it. Yeah. There you go. Okay. So any other fine print, Mr. Lawyer Legalese person?
Not off the top of my head. I don't have my
Anything
my
else you
Facebook
guys
open.
want to point out? Anything you want to?
2 bottles for judging.
Two 12-ounce bottles. The simple, obvious stuff, like if you guys are going to get out there and go with some crazy foraged ingredients, or if you guys are ordering things in like saffron, it's very.
We're looking at you,
difficult.
Tag.
I wasn't saying names.
Do you think Tag listens to the podcast?
I don't know. We're about to find out.
I guess we will.
So, anywho, and that wasn't necessarily just at Tag, because we had a lot of unique entries on the last one, which was very cool. But
Right.
when people are like, oh, yeah, I sourced, like, fig Newton twig branches from Canada's maple region, you're like, well, sorry.
None of those things actually exist, I don't think, but that's
Well,
okay.
Fig Newtons exist, and they're delicious.
But fig Newtons
but
exist.
in
The
the
maple
com-
region of Canada exists. And twigs, those are everywhere.
But the combination
They're
of
all
those
over my
three?
yard right now.
The combination of those three, though?
really, it's 2019. Somewhere out there's a Spring Smith lunatic. Like, I've got the fig Newton twigs in the maple region.
If it's a fig Newton tree, dude, I'm all over that.
He probably looks a little bit more like this.
I'm glad the only difference between you and the crazy guy who just talked about a fig Newton twig in the maple region of Canada is the fact that he has one less strap on.
Huh.
Whoa.
Phrasing.
Hi.
Are we?
Anyway, wow, I just went there. You're still all twisted up over there. There you go. Good job. Good job, you. So I've lost where I was going with that, but we were
so weird.
Yeah.
It's a privilege to see your brain work.
Yeah.
You guys have anything else going on? So I think we've talked at length about the Braggot scale-up, which I named Braggot Rights because, that's what I do. Anything else you guys want to talk about going on here at the brewery?
Lots of fun stuff. We're filling more barrels. We just filled our fooder. Officially, we have 18 barrels sitting in the fooder.
Don't touch it; it might bite.
Yeah. That being said, we've also got a lot of new stuff that we're trying out, constantly experimenting. Right. One thing that we've completely switched over to is Brian Thayer's Viceroy coffee. So that'll be featured in multiple beers.
Brian Thayer, who will be doing the April presentation at ZZ Hops right here at New Axiom, by the way.
Brian Thayer, who was here earlier with his wife.
Gone now.
Yeah, he left.
He saw you and bailed.
Yeah, pretty much.
But we have our Imperial Stout with his fresh roasted. Not fresh roasted. Roasted beans and then aged, so they were able to relax and rest for a bit. But we used Viceroy's espresso in our Imperial Milk Stout. We've got it in the Coffee Cake Kolsch. It'll be in all the future iterations of Breakfast of Champions going forward.
Wow.
We just kicked him a small barrel from Restless Spirits that was rather recently emptied. He is currently letting that rest, and we've purchased a Kenyan bean that we have a lot of pounds coming. We are going to purposefully barrel age that coffee for a long time. We are going to then have it custom roasted for us for some beer. We are going to have it roasted for people to actually buy and drink as coffee. And
that's awesome.
If you're listening, ZZ Hops, you will be the exclusive club that will have rights to actually purchase some of this custom roasted for your beers.
I like the sound of that.
So this is
exclusive,
a barrel-aged Kenyan beer.
Is this an exclusive announcement that you're putting out right now?
It might be.
Okay.
Hopefully Thayer knows about that.
I guess we'll find out. We'll find out if he listens to the podcast.
We did officially purchase the coffee. It's being shipped. I'll let him kind of take over from there with the April meeting and kind of talk about that because we'll have a little bit more hands on the ground on that.
So a teaser for the April meeting will be a barrel bourbon aged coffee bean that's then roasted specifically for the homebrew community that is ZZ Hops.
Yes, but it will not be ready in April, so don't have your wallets ready in April.
No, if it's barrel aged, it's going to be
take my money now.
Well, what we are going
pre-orders are accepted.
We are going to require pre-orders actually because Thayer is not
probably
just
a good
going
idea.
to roast a handful of beans and then hope
especially
to sell
with
them.
this club.
And then we'll be taking amounts and we'll kind of have a couple of options on the amounts there, and we'll also have Thayer recommendation wise on what's there.
Got it.
So yeah, there's going to be a lot of fun stuff like that coming up. With regard to other stuff going on here. We've got collaborations in the works that we're talking to. We got a lot of friends in the brewing community we're trying to work with, and a couple other things. So,
You guys going to be pouring at any of the festivals, the 800 festivals that are coming up?
yes, unfortunately, we will be missing
Brett, quit teasing me over there.
794, I believe. We will have, so our first festival of the year is actually this coming weekend in Springfield, Missouri, Flyover Fest. We were invited by Mothers. And then we will be at Parkville. We'll be at Festival of Lost Township. We'll be swinging by Blarney, hanging out, but we will not be pouring beer there. We'll just be there hanging out, helping out, doing whatever we can.
We're having a breakfast. We may let you have a burrito. We'll
You,
see.
sir, are a scholar and a gentleman.
Taylor's
I'm gonna eat
making
them all.
so.
Sorry.
Well, you didn't get any last year
No, I
because you were
didn't.
late.
This is true.
But no, like with regard to festivals, it's one of those where you open a brewery and, oh my
Right.
God, I want to go to all these festivals. And then you realize
You have a
that's
business to run.
very, very difficult. It's not even the business side. It's we have a hard enough time keeping full-time jobs, keeping wives, keeping girlfriends, keeping
Wives and girlfriends.
mentality and sanity, and then also keeping beer in the walk-in.
Giving away another day where you could potentially have time with family. So
Yeah.
you got to balance that, man.
Yeah, it's a very delicate balance, one that we're all still kind of juggling, and yeah, we're not really sure what our ass is in a hole in the ground. The difference is what they are. No idea.
Fair enough.
Accurate.
Okay. Well, that's awesome. Brett needs to stop dancing over there with his stout in hand. He was sniffing it. And
Pretty sure that's the 14.2% Imperial Stout that he's
Eight.
drinking.
He was-
I'm sorry, 14.8.
He was teasing me and smelling it and smiling, and it was mean. But anyway, thank you guys so much for letting us be out here. So all you ZZ Hops guys and gals, come on out to New Axiom and for the April meeting. We'll be here.
You can come out,
but
before
also
the meeting to have a beer.
You can also come out and try Brian Thayer's or Viceroy Coffee's collaboration with New Axiom, and also New Axiom's all their other beers. Maybe get an idea for what a braggot. Maybe run your idea for a braggot by Adam.
He'll be here
Mac.
washing the dishes.
Washing
Yes.
dishes.
He will be the one with the steamed glasses halfway down his nose.
Mac will be the one that is still dancing on his fooder like it's a stripper pole.
Wouldn't you?
I mean, yeah. That's some big wood you're going to be dancing on.
Phrasing.
Are we still doing that? But thank you guys so much for letting us come out and taking some time out of your day.
I appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for coming out.
Definitely. Are we taking a break, or is this it?
I think we'll take a break or end either way.
Okay.
There may be stuff after this. There may not. You'll just have to listen and find out.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Absolutely.
Peace.
Thank you.
All right, so we wanted to talk about some recent goings-on here at the ZZ Hops Homebrew Club. Do you want to talk about that, Mr. Workman?
Sure. So recently we've had quite a few accomplishments, and we want to see a lot more coming out of ZZ Hops. But the Casey Beermeisters had a competition where Chris Hilderoff and Kevin Olson both placed with respective beers in sours and what was the
It was a wild for
Yeah,
Olson.
It was a
and
wild
then
and an
imp-
Imperial.
imp stout.
Yeah, an Imperial Stout.
Imperial Stout for Hilderoff.
Yep.
We had some recent scale-ups.
We did.
Aaron Shockey got scaled up at Fringe with a mint beer.
Enjoy mint stout.
Lakeside Brewing.
Lakeside.
I believe there's still beer on tap at Fringe.
I believe there's still beer on tap. Last time I checked, there was still some.
Okay.
Go get it while you can.
He also talked to Aaron about it. He learned a lot in the scale-up process because it was a process for him. And then also Jeremy Nealon got a scale-up here at New Axiom with his Al Capone beer. It's a raspberry.
Sour dark ale.
It's
It
a kettle soured raspberry dark ale.
Yeah, but it's Capone.
Yeah.
Like,
There's no
Capone's-
Al in it. It's Capone something. Capone's Valentine. I'm sure that's it.
I'm gonna kick you in the shin. But we also selected.
I would like that.
He would like that. We also selected that beer to be sent off to the Boyle Rumble for Melvin
Melvin Brewing.
Brewing, More Beer, and the Brewing Network.
So hopefully the Brewing Network hears about this and selects that beer. And we can do a collab with the Brewing Network, maybe.
And whenever we say that we selected, it was a conglomerate of executive board members, some outside.
Pete Dunlin was involved in helping us select the beer. So we had a couple of different folks kind of walk us through the process when we were.
I believe it's Doolin.
Okay, it's fine.
Hey, Dick.
Does he listen to the podcast?
I don't know yet. We'll find out. We're going to find out a lot about ourselves in our podcast tonight or whenever this gets published. So we really established that Nick's beer sucked.
They were definitely the worst.
And then
That's Nick Applegate.
Nick Applegate, just so that we're all clear.
Do you think he listens to the podcast?
Again, we're going to find out, but he's also probably going to join the podcast. Maybe if we allow him on the mic.
Oh God.
He might just need to take notes.
Good luck.
Subtitles will be required.
Because he's going to be drunk the entire time?
Yes.
No
Okay.
comment.
Is there anything else that we need to announce?
I don't think, in terms of recent accolades, I don't think so. We do have some scale-ups that are going on. We covered those in announcements, but
Yeah, so if you want to be part of this announcement section, go ahead and please brew beer to put into different competitions, brew beer for these scale-ups, the Braggot rights, and the
East 40 Scramble.
I'm really liking the
that was
names that we're coming up
synchronized.
for. I like the names that we're coming up for these scale-ups. We also, we're just going to have some fun. So if you guys have any questions or want to know how to enter stuff, reach out and let us know. Thank you guys so much.
Bye.
Peace.
Peace.